We're particularly proud to be able to host an event of such critical importance to our community in this room, which we call the Digitorium, for its state-of-the-art technology, including the media wall behind me. This also serves as a studio of sorts for our students seeking degrees or certificates in the digital arts and digital media, including digital graphics, video production, and video game productions. One of the many programs offered here at the Seminole campus, which now enrolls over 6,000 students. It's gratifying to see so many people here tonight for this program. We're delighted to partner with the Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber to present this forum on flood insurance crisis. And no question, it is a crisis. Some employees of St. Petersburg College, and some, including many on this campus, have already talked to me and face the same problem as you do, with ruinous increases in their flood insurance premiums. So we empathize with you, and we offer our facilities to help bring clarity to this issue to an anxious public. The Institute for Strategic Policy Solutions, based on this campus, does roughly a dozen programs like this per year, and its mission in promoting civic engagement and providing academic enrichment to our students. If you would like to be included on the newsletters announcing upcoming events of this nature, please provide us with your email address and we will keep you informed of what's coming up. So now let's get on with the program. It's my pleasure to introduce Robin Solly, President and CEO of the Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber of Commerce, who put together this evening's program. Robin.
Thank you, Dr. Oliver, and thank you and St. Pete College for giving us this opportunity to have the program in your facility. And I cannot take credit for organizing this program. I wish I could say it's a wonderful event, but given the crisis we're in, we do want to thank all the partners seated to my right, which you will be introduced to in just a moment. As Dr. Oliver said, I am President and CEO for the Tampa Bay Beaches Chamber of Commerce. Our geographical area covers a large majority of the policyholders that will be affected by this Bigger Waters Act. However, we're not the only geographic area. Many inland counties are affected as well, so keep that in mind as you listen this afternoon. Now I get to introduce some guests we have in our audience this evening. If you could, please hold your applause until I'm done introducing all of our elected officials. We have State Senator Jeff Brandes. We have Representative Shirley with Congressman Young's office. We have County Commissioner Janet Long represented today with Mary Hardwick. We have Shara Rosario representing Representative Ahern's office for the state of Florida. We have Mayor Steve McFarland with St. Pete Beach. We have Mayor George Criticus with the City of Clearwater. We have Mayor Travis Palladino with Madeira Beach. I don't think he's made it in quite yet. Commissioner St. Pete Beach, Lorraine Hune. Commissioner of Madeira Beach, Elaine Poe. Commissioner of Madeira Beach, Terry Lister. Commissioner of St. Pete Beach, Melinda Pletcher. Seminole Council Member, City of Seminole Council Member, Jim Quinn. I also have, and that completes my list. Thank you for attending today. We do have some empty seats up here in the front. We've pulled some of the reserved seat signs, so please make your way up, and there are some gaps in the audience to the right and the left. Please, if you do have a cell phone, we ask that you turn it off or on vibrate. At the chamber, we do charge you a membership application fee when your phone goes off during an event. Lastly, the restrooms are located as you walk out the door. The women's is to your right and the gentleman is to your left. And now, to start our program, I have the opportunity to introduce our moderator this evening, the president of Whole House Insurance, Ron Wholehouse.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. This is a very critical issue at a critical time in the economies in Florida. I'd like to introduce the panel, and they are going to do a PowerPoint presentation. We're going to have three different presenters, White Insurance, who is is the largest flood provider. They will do more of a national. We have Bankers Insurance, who also is national, but has been in St. Petersburg for well over 30 years. And we'd like to also do a local perspective from an agency. I'm going to read the bios because there's no way I would remember. Patricia Patty, better known as Patty Templeton-Jones, serves as the Chief Operating Officer of Wright Flood, the largest provider of flood insurance in Florida and the U.S., leading a staff of over 220 employees, headquartered here in St. Petersburg. Wright Flood, previously Fidelity National Flood Insurance, has roots dating back 30 years to the inception of the Write Your Own program of the National Flood Insurance Program. Ms. Templeton-Jones is the current president of the Florida Insurance Servicing Companies Association of America and a member of the Write Your Own Coalition. She recently has served as NFIP Flood Coordinator for Wright Flood, chairperson of the Institute for Business and Home Safety, and the Write Your Own Marketing Committee. With over 25 years' experience in the insurance industry, Patty is an outspoken advocate of the flood insurance program and the education of flood insurance. Timothy Feldbaum is with Bankers Insurance. He is a flood product manager. Within the past year, Tim moved into the lead product management role for all flood products within Bankers Insurance Group. From the information technology side of the house, he has over 25 years of experience in the information technology field, including more than 23 years in the insurance industry. With the majority of those years associated with flood insurance, he returned to Bankers Financial Corporation in 2007, helped them to return to the NFIP as both a Write Your Own and as a flood processing vendor. Prior to returning to Bankers, he served as Vice President of Information Technology for Fidelity National Insurance Services, overseeing IT for the flood division previously. Tim was also Director of Development for the advisory subsidiary National Flood Services from 2003 to 2005 and served as Chief Technology Architect for Insurance Management Solutions Group from 1999 to 2003. Next is Jake Holhouse, who's my son. He's given me a 3-page bio, but I will tell you, he's been with my office since 1991, which is also the year he was born. Jake went on to Florida State University. He graduated tops of his class in insurance risk management. He has got his CPCU and has been he is the only one that really believed that Congress is going to do this. He would come to each of us in the office and say, this is the law. It's already passed. We've got to deal with it. And clients, insurance agents, brokers, bankers, we all missed it. We said there's no way Congress would ever do this. Many people have called and asked, why are you doing this? What do you hope to achieve from it? The most important thing I can achieve from this is to get each and every person in this building to write their own heartfelt letter to their Congress, to their senator, to their elected officials. You elected them. Please ask them to go to work for you. This has got to be resolved. We also have Doug Swain with RE/MAX St. Pete Beach. Doug, I'm going to ask you, because I do not have a bio, and we also have Pam Duval, the property appraiser, who said you all voted for her. You should know her bio. And we're going to go ahead and get started with PowerPoint presentation. Technical glitch. Who's got the clicker? Yes.
That's what we were trying to figure out, whether we were doing it from our seats or whether we were standing. So, let me move this thing forward. Anyhow, I'm Tim Feldbaum, and I'm going to start this off with giving you an idea of why we're here today and how we ended up here today. And eventually I will come back up later on and kind of give a more local perspective. So what is BW12? Well, on July 6, 2012, Congress passed a law called Bigger Waters Flood Insurance Reform Act. BW12, you'll hear BW12 consistently in this presentation tonight. And it reauthorized the program for 5 years. Now that really was an important thing. because many of you may not know, but actually the program lapsed in 2008 and then had stops and starts with reauthorization throughout the years until finally this 5-year reauthorization took place in 2012. Now what did it do? Basically, the law required changes to all the major components of the program. Flood insurance, flood hazard maps, grants, and floodplain management. The changes were designed completely to make the program financially stable. The program is deeply in debt, and we'll get into that in a couple of minutes. Now, you may not know this, but the first portion of the implementation of this law has already taken place. It's not just coming on October 1st, but actually the first portion took place for the non-primary residents at the beginning of this year, in January 1st of 2013. On October 1st, the completion of what's known as Section 205 and 212 will go into effect. And there are additional changes planned for 2014 that I know Jake will be talking about a little bit later. So how did we get here? If you see this, you can see gradual premium being pulled into the program, gradually rising throughout the years. But at its peak in 2012, it still is just a little over $3.5 billion. Now it sounds like a lot until we go to the next page. But before I do, the policy count has remained consistent